So, we're here, we're ready, we're going. We fought this trainer. These are the set 4. I believe we made the turn and fought the first one. One of you? No, it was not. Maybe it was the bottom one. I'm pretty sure I fought one of these. Yeah, been kind of busy. Didn't have a chance to record. Well, that's not true. I didn't have a chance to upload. I recorded some, basically a failure clip of Works Must Die for, I'm actually going to switch to Gengar here, and then my internet went out for a couple hours, and then I had to focus on other shenanigans, so it was just not in the cards, and then it continued on into yesterday, and I actually just got finished with a bunch of other shit, so gonna record this and then a couple other things. Can't you swim? I can. It's just not in the cards right now. I don't know if you heard that, but something just went on my computer and it echoed somewhere. Probably heard that through either the mic or... Nah, it would just be the mic. But, what? Okay. Stomp should work. What's good about this Tauros is getting really close to matching the levels. So, we should be able to switch over to having different Pokemon in the lead instead of just Lapras and then Tauros. It gets kind of stale, is the right word. Not boring. Because it's always nice seeing your team members just level up and improve. So I did not fight either of these, which makes me confused because I remember fighting one of these. Is there a guy down here that I forgot? I don't really care. I think there's only Tentacool on this route still. Which, I mean, a free stomp and I would just leave. So we're gonna get into the Seafoam Islands today. We won't be finishing it. It's a somewhat long dungeon if you don't know what you're doing. And while I know what I'm doing, sometimes I easily forget stuff in it. It's not one of those dungeons that I memorized. Level 30. I am gonna Earthquake you. Yeah, that's what's weird about Tentacool on this route. They can appear from like level 10 all the way up to 40, I think it is. Which is kind of weird. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing any trainers, but unlike Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, where the water is kind of linear, this is very open. And heck, even Gold, Silver, Crystal, when you have the Whirl Islands, you can still easily see most of the trainers. Yeah, there's a few that you might miss, but... So we're seeing a lot of evolved Pokemon here, which is nice, but at the same time, is a little dangerous. Yeah, it's in-game, so it's not that dangerous at all, but sometimes they get lucky. So, to be cautious is our dream here. Flinched. Which is nice, that's why Stomp is useful for right now. So, in Seafoam Islands, we are going to have 2 wild encounters. And this is probably the stage of the game where if you're picking up a team member, you better have every team member besides it. This has to be your last team member. Unless you're just doing a 4 and 2 HM slaves. But if you're doing 6 Pokemon here, and for your team, this has to be your last team member. It doesn't have to be, but it's going to be hard to get the correct experience without grinding and all that. Did we really... Was there only 3 trainers there? Or 4? I don't remember. Level 5? I thought level 10 was the minimum. It's kind of overkill and kind of a waste of PP, but Free experience. 75. Alright. So, Duck Trio. I kind of actually... This is the problem. I have to keep Gengar with me. Well, I love Gengar. We should have one trainer here. Now, it looks like you can actually just skip this, but you cannot. You can if you go from Pallet Town to Cinnabar, and then you can skip Seafoam Islands. It's optional. But, well, there's a few special things in there that we're going to pick up. One being Legendary and one being the TM. So, wow. Tauros speed is just going to come in handy so much. But now that we're in the Seafoam Islands, I can talk about the new encounters. Which, this will say Seafoam. Yep. Here we are, Seafoam Islands. And no music to start us out. There's a bunch of returning encounters. So, I'm not going to go over them, of course. But there's a new one for normal encounters, and that's Seal and Dugong. They both appear here. Dugong's way rarer. But, I'm going to get back to that in a second. We have strength puzzles here, which you just move the boulder. And it's kind of slow and irritating, but we have to do them. So, Slowpoke, yeah, that appears here. But Seal and Dugong. Dugong's really rare, so if you really want one, you're going to be waiting for a while, and if you're going to go the Seal route, just remember, Seal is very weak at this point. It's a water ice type, unlike my Lapras. It just doesn't hold up well. Dugong is very, supposed to be defensive oriented, and even then it doesn't hold up in a variety of situations. So, I'd prefer Cloyster over it. For the water ice type, and Lapras, of course, was my choice, so it depends on which one you want, but in my opinion, Dugong's just the last place, and we are actually going to go this way. No, we're going to drop down here. Yeah, and that, see, the habit of later generations appeared there. I tried to click A to do it. God damn it. So Dugong, yeah, it learns the water ice combination. I don't even remember if it learns Thunderbolt. It probably doesn't. But it learns a decent amount of moves. I wasn't gonna use Double Edge, but alright. I'm just trying to find good things to say about it, but for a late game Pokemon, it's pretty garbage. Like, maybe if it was earlier on in the game and it was the only water type, kind of like Pikachu in this scenario, then I would be like, oh, I could recommend it, but here it's just no. It's not good. But there's one new encounter, and that's an encounter in quotes, is you can find Articuno here, flying ice type. Dies to a rock type unless Doug Trio's the one doing it, apparently. It hits incredibly hard in this generation because Blizzard is 90% accurate and high special. It hits incredibly hard. The only thing that stops it from being one of the best, and there's that ugly Golbats, right, is that huge weakness to rock. It can't switch on into Golem and Rhydon, but it still has the possibility in competitive play to do some damage. It's just very unlikely because it gets kind of trashed. I believe this allows us to go around to this rock over here. Now we are gonna... There should be one below us, and then we have to go around for the other one. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. And Articuno, it does rely on only ice and flying type attacks, there's a ladder here. It wasn't a rock. I swear it was a rock. But so I could see it. I should have just used Tauros to surf. We are actually going to follow this one down. And this is the worst part about this. That's for sure. I could recommend it for a team, but if it's... Here's Shitty Seal. But if it's for an ice type, I think Jinx is much better. I think a water type variant besides Dugong is much better for in-game purposes. And even competitive, in my opinion. But it's really up to you how you want to format your team. And for flying type, well, Zapdos just takes that train and wrecks house with it, so not sure what you're going to do with that. Come on. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to use Tauros that much in here, which is really fine, because I'm not going to go exit and heal. Probably going to switch to Venusaur. I'm kind of lost. I will admit, I'm back here, aren't I? Yeah, but I need to go down this ladder. Alright. Come on, that's obvious. But so if you want to use Articuno, it's a good ice type and a good flying type. It's just the combination I'll agree with, but if you're going for based on one of those types, don't get it. It's not worth it. There's other Pokemon that fit those roles better. But if you're going for that combination of ice and flying, then it works. No, I'm just going in circles now. Yeah, I don't see how... No, I would end up back in that room. Disable. This is my last stomp, so I'm going to switch Tauros out of the lead and put Venusaur in and end the video. So next time, we'll be taking on the rest of Seafoam Islands, probably getting to Articuno and the items in here. But till then.